stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
Ed wins.
Yeah, he does.
I got on that mic, like, intimately.
Yeah, he did.
You knew it in a biblical sense.
I was licking my blue ball.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have one too?
Yeah.
Is yours white?
Yep.
Right on.
It's the I got the blue snowball. Yeah. Oh, usually you can see it on some of the shows.
I got.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that doesn't. I have the
Nope.
the MXL.
Yep.
Right on.
Welcome to Shop Talk.
Yeah.
I'll show mine.
Cool. Hey, welcome back to VOR.
Hi.
This is Ed.
This is Mikey.
And this is Carl adjusting his camera since he was an idiot and moved it.
I was waiting for you to say you're junk.
Adjusting my junk.
Let's all adjust on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oof.
And there we go.
How
The
nice.
boys are get a little air in the boys. So welcome back. Part 3. We're talking Robocop. We're talking Robocop 2.
Yes. And probably to a lesser extent, Robocop 3.
Which I forgot about until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, it's very
all
forgettable.
blur. Which
Yeah.
all blur to me.
Well, I mean, I think pretty much everyone agrees that like the RoboCop's kind of decline in quality.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is impressive to think about when you think about Robocop being such a successful movie in itself, and how much people do love it, and how much product comes out every like 5 to 10 years, and you're like, oh, that's the coolest statue, and it sells.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow, how did it tank? How'd they just like neglect that puppy and let it die? It's so sad. It had a TV show, and that was awful.
Oh, I had to live in Germany. I had to live in Germany around
Because
that
of
time.
that. Oh, I thought you were going to say because of that TV show. It was like it was so bad I had to move to Germany.
I moved the.
No, I don't think there was a RoboCop TV show. That TV show that didn't happen in my reality. How old were you, Ed, when that came on?
I was early high school, so I think the live action show came out first, and then later a cartoon show, both of which were awful.
Because that's what you want to do is market it a dystopian future with violence and sex and gore to children.
Apparently. Yeah.
One of the beautiful things about the 80s.
Yeah.
Rubik's Cube, the cartoon.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Milk it.
If it was popular, it had its own toy, and if it was a toy already, it had its own TV show.
Right.
Oh yeah.
The 80s.
Violent or not, that was a wild, wild west of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was A-okay by me.
Me too.
But RoboCop 2, as fun and biting and cynical as RoboCop the first was, everybody was dying for a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But RoboCop 2, wow, what a surprising turn of a story, and one that when it hit theaters still was only a fraction of its original length.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-hour movie that was supposed to be 6 or something, right?
It seems that way.
Yeah. And what I didn't know for years, and now makes total sense, is the writer behind RoboCop 2 was comic superstar Frank Miller.
Yeah. And he actually even has a cameo in RoboCop 2. He's one of the chemists, or is it 3? I can't remember. But he's in it. He's
in 2, yeah.
Because he would come to the set every day to watch him murder his screenplay. He didn't have to, but he decided, like, he was one of those writers. He's on set every day while they were filming it. So
I don't.
He was a priest.
Did he play a priest?
No, that was some other Frank Miller movie.
Oh.
He was,
the Sin City.
he was a priest in that one.
Okay.
He was a priest in RoboCop as well.
But it's funny looking at the movies he's made so far, the success of both 300. I mean, his biggest movies, his biggest stories, 300 and Sin City. You get to know the kind of stuff he likes. You get to know his kink, and it's amazing to go back and see RoboCop 2. It's all there.
Yeah.
You know, the criminal kingpin is a 12-year-old, and then his protector person, who's another, she's like a mother figure, but she's also a criminal, completely hoed out, just a hoe, and it's hoes everywhere and ultra violence.
Yeah. It all makes sense.
So it's pervy.
Yeah, it is. It's
this kink is kind of pervy.
Yeah, you get that whole like kind of like Oedipus sort of creepy vibe between the kid and the mother figure. And, Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what you want. That's kind of what you want. You want to send people away with that.
Yeah. That makes
no, you didn't.
That was the 80s for you. Like, really? My tongue. I gotta brush my teeth. Yeah.
It was even released on Mother's Day, so.
Was it?
No. I'm sure.
His name's Crisco Porkins? Sorry, I'm gullible.
But yeah, even the level of weird violence and depravity, and even to the degree that RoboCop was destroyed in this one, and his next resurrection, I don't know, it was way too violent for kids. It was clearly Frank Miller's baby, and he was off on his futuristic, nihilistic pulp rant, you know, very clearly.
Dude, so was 1 though. I'm sorry, man. Like that, his initial killing was so brutal. It's so pointless. Like it was like Rasputin.
Yeah.
Well,
Murphy's that's a sadistic death for a hero. It's like,
and they even comment during it. There's like, oh man, he's still alive, and like, and then Clarence is just finally like, oh, finally I'll put him out of his misery. You know, it's like, and then he finally shoots him in the head, like after he's just been literally blown to shreds. You know, he's like,
oh, totally.
The guy that blew off his hand finally takes pity and shoots him in the head. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's pretty nuts, but so much. It's just. It was so violent, and this is one thing that happened a lot in the 80s. People rallied against it, but I don't know, maybe it's just because in my home, you know, again, I grew up watching Blues Brothers with a degree of violence and tons of swearing, lots of adult ideas that were over most kids' heads. Other just really violent movies. I watched Halloween alone, but I couldn't do that without my parents having broken it down as, you know, we'd start and they'd stop the movie and like talk to their 6-year-old and be like, now, you know that this is fake, right? This is just a guy in a costume. Nobody's really dying. You shouldn't do this in real life. This isn't how people work out their problems. You know, Michael Myers doesn't really exist. He's not coming to get you. You get that. I'm like, oh, okay. And so we'd watch making-ofs, and, you know, like my brother would point out, like, this is how it's done. You know, did you know that this guy is actually wearing a mask and he does this? And I could still get into the movie, but when it was over, I knew this isn't the way the world works.
Yeah.
So the violence could be appreciated without me feeling that it was, you know, horrible, and I wouldn't get emotionally attached to it.
Kind of like those creepy kids, like the creepy kids that were really into gore and special effects and used to like subscribe to Fangoria, and they'd always be like the ones that are out there watching like the new hyper-violent horror movie and everything, you know, and they try to pull the pranks where they're like, oh, my blah, blah, you know, and they try to do their own special effects and everything. You know, it's like those people weren't the ones to worry about. Those were the people that were expressing themselves.
Those are the ones that went on to make movies.
Yeah, you know, that's like the John Carpenters and the Clive Barkers. You know, it's like it was always funny because I watched what was it called? It was some horror movie documentary, and they said these guys that make these movies, they're the nice guys. They're the well balanced, well adjusted people because they let that dark side out of themselves and they don't keep it to themselves. You know, it's like oh, I have this crazy effed up idea. You know, it's like, and they put it out. They don't keep it inside, and these are the people that are expressing themselves, even if you don't like how they're expressing themselves.
It's a lot like there was a study about aggressive music like metal and death metal and that kind of thing, how it's actually relaxing to listen to that stuff. I mean, some people, you know, they used it to get psyched up, but for people, especially people who are attracted to it, who have a lot of issues, it's relaxing for exactly that reason. It's that release. You know, people aggressively singing about aggression and being in pain helps you to release it, gives you a place to focus it. It's fascinating.
And, you know, you meet those metalheads, and they're usually some of the nicest people.
Yeah.
Especially the performers and stuff. Because you got the guys from Judas Priest. Like, you couldn't get like nicer than those guys. They were like the hard edge like metal band there for a while. Like they started a lot of the trends like the leather and stuff like that. You know, it's like you know, Judas Priest. You know.
Yeah.
Breaking the law, and they were just these nice guys from England.
Yeah, I got to meet Dee Snider briefly, and just on stage and then off like really quickly. Hell of a guy, family man. You know, just normal. So
wrote songs for Barbra Streisand.
There you go.
I mean, Dee Snider.
Wow.
He's a man of the world.
Well, cool. Well, let me ask you guys, before we kick it over to Republicom, which we have a couple, that'll be for tomorrow's show, what is the favorite thing about Robocop? Everybody knows he looks cool. You know, we all enjoy watching it. But aside from that, like, what stands out for you to this day? Like, Carl.
For me, Kurtwood Smith. A lot of people know him as like the Red Foreman from that '70s show, but before that, he had a real deep sci-fi background. He did Fortress with Christopher Lambert.
Yeah.
Lambert. That was great, and he was creepy, scary bad guy in that one. He did a lot of Star Trek before that also. But in this one, he plays Clarence Boddicker, pretty much the main villain, the face of the antagonist there. And he just drives the whole film. You got that first scene where they're doing the bank robbery, and you've only seen this guy on screen for about 5 minutes, and you get that scene where he turns to the guy that's got shot, and he's like, "Tell me something. Can you fly, Bobby?" And then he throws his own guy out of the truck at the cops. You know, it's like, and that just defines like what this movie is you got this guy that's just so bad and so evil and so that he's just going to throw his own guy into the windshield of a cop car to try to get away. You know, it's like, and he's like that from like the whole movie. Like when he busts in on that guy's party, he's like, "Bitches go," you know. It's like,
that's the best line.
Yeah, it's great. You know, it's like, where's the bitches leave? I can't remember, but like he just
bitches leave.
Bitches leave, and it's like, and you're just like, dude, you don't fuck with him, and like he's the driving force behind that movie. As good as Peter Weller and all those other guys are, if it wasn't for Kurtwood Smith, there wouldn't be something for him to fight against. So
true. I'd say for me it is it's all about Peter Weller. His performance is, to me, it comes off as bizarre. It's very unlike Buckaroo Banzai. It's unlike any other movie he's ever been in. So as Murphy, you know, he's the nice guy cop, and that's cool. And he's there long enough for enough character development where you like him. But when he's Robocop, it's all about his cadence. It's all about his speech, and everything changes. I mean, it is kind of robotic, but then he has a way of speaking, and you know, there's always "dead or alive, you're coming with me." That's one. The line that I love, and I love it because it sounds like he didn't say it correctly, and I forget who he says it to, but he just says, "You're heading for trouble." I'm like, trouble? The Chubbell telescope? It kills me, but I love it. I just keep going back for more.
You know what's really funny about that is one of the big reasons that he got that role is because he was so skinny. And
I thought it was the shape of his mouth.
Oh, was it? Well, I also read that like it was because they needed someone super skinny to fit into the costume. That way it wasn't too big. Because if they got like a big bulky guy, it was going to make the costume even larger. So
I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Perfect timing.
Do you have something?
I don't know. I'm kind of a mixture, I guess. I love the look, man. With me, everything's look with me.
It's true.
And I'm sorry, and the face, and his face. I'm sorry, the weird flesh tone lips that were completely sculpted sounds kind of creepy for a 7 or an 8, 9-year-old to be saying about. But like I couldn't get over the fact that before he was RoboCop, you didn't notice it, but once he was RoboCop, that bizarre, just squared off expression that almost looked like sculpted clay, that just stuck with me. That, and now that I'm older, the bizarre humorous stabs during the with like the like the what was the damn it, in the commercials that would happen throughout the movie.
Oh my God, the XUX 6000.
Yeah, it like that seemed to precede things like the Noid and Where's the Beef, and
Oh yeah.
when you look back, it's like, wait a minute, this film really did kind of almost predict some of the bizarre things that happened in the 80s, where people wore shirts that said Where's the Beef.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, I'd buy that. I don't even remember what that was really in reference to. But it would seem to be commercials with these just off-the-chain people in your face. It was almost like it looked like video. It was bizarre. And how that kind of it almost foretold the way we're kind of heading.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can now draw a parallel between the I'll buy that for $1 guy with the I saw the Lego movie recently, and yeah, the #1 show in Legoville, because it's all about like conformity in Legoville. The #1 show is called Where's My Pants?
Oh, really?
It's all based on that premise of somehow the show's gonna end up with someone asking Where's my pants, and that's how I feel like a lot of shows. You know,
I'd buy that for $1.
I'd buy that for $1. That's to say, yeah, you sucker!
Yeah, I bought them. And I actually fingered the package like, I've got to get the little Where's My Pants dude.
That is hysterical.
He's adorable, isn't he?
Oh, I gotta see that movie.
It's so
That movie looks like genius, but yeah. But yeah, it was that whole I'd buy that for $1, and now that I'm older, looking back and going, whoa, we really kind of became that, but we waited.
Yeah.
And we didn't wait. We just became that.
Yeah.
Because it looked funny then. Let's do it.
Yeah. But there
Right
we go.
on. Right on.
Wow, there's value to Robocop.
There's a lot of value to it.
It's a teaching movie, yeah.
Yeah.
We can learn a lot from
Yep. Stay in school.
Not to extend this, but when you think back to it, Ed, did his voice, like, whenever you think of a cool male voice, it's always something cool like this.
Yeah, they always make it
deep.
gravelly, deep.
Dude, his was kind of like this. It almost wasn't cool, but it was its own.
Yeah, there's so much originality to RoboCop. Just as we talked about tonight, like everything was so original, especially for the time. You know, the commercials, the sarcasm, the satirical commercials, the look, and you're right. His voice. He walks like he has a big hip walk. I didn't talk about that, but he's got this weird big hip walk. He's doing the robot for 2 hours with the big butt.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, love it. I need to own it. I don't know why I don't own it, but I should. Cool. Well, tomorrow, all about Republicoms.
There we go.
You can't see it, but I'm pointing. Yeah, we probably can see it now. But I'm pointing. It's all about you.
Thanks, Carl.
And if you're listening, you still can't see it, but it's all about you. Pretend I'm pointing at you.
Just listen. Just listen.
Listen to my finger.
Listen to Carl's finger. Lick it and then put it in their ear, Carl. So tomorrow is all about Republicom. We do listen, we read the emails, and we love to hear from you. So VORradio.com, drop us a line anytime, and that's about all I could say about that. We want to hear.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I'm done.
I want to leave.
All right. So until tomorrow, may the force
be with.
That ass.
Sexy.
Bye, y'all.